Welcome in. We're going to just give a few minutes before we start so that people can jump in the Zoom room. So hang on with us. We'll start momentarily. Thank you for joining. As people enter the room, we'll just give a few more minutes. We're happy you're here. Welcome. We'll get started shortly. Just a couple more minutes, allowing more students to jump on the call. We all know how it goes. Sometimes there's connectivity issues. Don't go anywhere. Okay, it's 3 minutes after the hour. We should just get started. Thank you for joining us. My name is Trina. I'm an Assistant Director of International Admissions at Whitworth. You also might be familiar with Marie Whalen. She's also Director of International Admissions. Both of us act as admissions counselors for you. So if you don't know me yet, I'm sure that you know Marie, who will not be on this call today, but she will be on future webinars. This is the first of a number of webinars helping you to understand better your financial aid offer, scholarships, need-based aid, and other opportunities to support you financially if you decide to attend Whitworth. Just as a warning, this webinar has a lot of information. So I'm going to move slowly. I'm going to talk slowly so that you can absorb the information. The slides have a lot of words. So I know that it can be frustrating, but between the webinar and you being able to contact us by email and even set up Zoom calls to meet with you face-to-face, we'll make sure that you have all of your questions answered and that you understand very clearly your financial aid offer and what that means for you with regard to your overall costs. So have no fear. The information might seem overwhelming, but we're here to help you through every step of the way. All right, so let's get started. So here's Marie. I just mentioned that we are both ready and available for you. You're welcome to use the question and answer box if you have questions along the way. Put them in when you're thinking about it, and at the end of the presentation, we'll definitely address any questions or comments you have. Okay, let's kick this off with breaking down the kind of scholarships that we offer and that you may have already received in your email notification. Some of you attending the call may have already been admitted and received your scholarship update. Others may not yet have gotten to that stage. So let's look. Merit scholarships. These are scholarships based on your credentials, based on your GPA and your IELTS test score, TOEFL test score, or if you don't have one of those, basically your high school grades. These are awarded as you, in high school, if you have a higher GPA, then typically your scholarships are higher. I do see, let's pause for a moment. I see a student raising their hand. Could you put your concern in the Q&A box? Especially if you cannot see the slide or you cannot hear me. That's the most important at this point. Please feel free to add your comments in the Q&A. I'll be watching for those. So the merit scholarships are awarded at the time of admission. There's no extra form you have to fill out. There's no extra step. We award these based on your GPA at the time your application is processed. Okay, I'm just going to pause for a moment. Okay, so the question from Precious was, how can we schedule a one-on-one Zoom meeting? So that is available to you if you reach out to Marie directly and request a one-to-one Zoom meeting with her. She'll be happy to schedule you in. Same for me. Anytime you want to meet one-to-one, just ask us by email and we'll work on a schedule. Okay, back to merit scholarships. Thank you very much. So these are awarded at the time of admission. The scholarship awards start at 20,000 USD and they go up to 28,000 USD. Now remember, this is times 4. These merit scholarships are renewable every year. So if you receive a $20,000 scholarship, you have to think about the 4 years that you will be attending Whitworth, and you get that scholarship every 4 years. So that essentially means that you're getting 80,000 USD as your scholarship, which is really excellent. And that's just the beginning level scholarship. Those are really excellent. So the next type of scholarship we offer is based on talent. So for example, if you are an artist or a musician, or you're interested in debate, there are different types of scholarships based on these talents that you can apply for. And the scholarship amount ranges anywhere from $500 on up. And this is really depending on the department and how they award these scholarships. So we really can't determine the amount that you will get. These scholarships do have a separate application that you'll be informed about in your email. So always check your email for notifications from Whitworth. And once you are able to apply for these scholarships, they're typically awarded later on in the spring, usually around March. We also offer scholarships based on things like Education USA. If you're familiar with Education USA, it's a US State Department affiliation. Typically, there are offices in cities all around the world. Sometimes they're in the consulate, sometimes they're in their own standalone offices. and you can meet with an advisor who will help you for free to do your research on how to study in the US, how to choose the best fit school, etc. So if you already are an Education USA advisee, this also is an opportunity for you to earn an extra $1,000 scholarship. We also offer other scholarships that are based on university donors and alumni. These are typically awarded to students who are already current students and attending Whitworth. Finally, we also have other aid that's based on your economic need. So this will be from the CSS profile. Maybe you've already seen this request in your student profile. It is a separate application that you need to fill out that will assess your family's economic contribution. So this profile form is a little bit time intensive, but it's really worth it because this will unlock more financial aid given to you by the university that goes along with your scholarships. So between your merit scholarships and other need-based aid, those are we call stackable. They add up to a higher amount of financial aid overall, which is really excellent. So please, please submit that CSS profile as soon as you can, because this will help you get a little bit more financial aid that could make your study at Whitworth quite possible. One thing to remember, Whitworth does not guarantee to meet your full need. We are not a full scholarship university. Only one way that you're able to earn a full scholarship, and that is if you were admitted with honors and you are able to join the annual honors scholarship weekend competition. If you don't know anything about that, then you weren't awarded honors and it's past the deadline for that, which is why you don't know about it. If you want to learn more, check the website or email us. But essentially, it's one time a year before you're admitted. It's not something you can apply for once you've arrived. Okay, let's move on. So here we are. Here's the breakdown of what I was just talking about. Our international merit scholarships start at $20,000. They go up to $28,000. We have other need-based aid that is unlocked from the CSS profile. That's under Whitworth grant, okay? We also offer you a $4,000 housing grant. So you might know that all new first-year students are required to live on campus for the first 2 years. Aside from the amazing experience, Whitworth also will offer you a $4,000 grant that goes toward helping reduce the cost of your housing and meal plan. So this is excellent. This is every year. As long as you stay on campus, you get this extra $4,000 discount. And then below here, we already talked about the talent and participation scholarships and the Education USA scholarship. So quickly, here is an example of what your financial aid offer letter might look like. So this student, for example, has received the highest scholarship at $28,000. They received a Whitworth grant, which is our financial aid, of $3,000 total. And let's say the student applied for a music scholarship. They earned another $3,000 for music scholarship. Housing, oops, there's a typo there, sorry. That should be $4,000 total. And then they attended 2 virtual webinars. What you're doing now, you're attending one, attend a second one, and you too can earn that virtual visit scholarship of $1,000. So let's see if this math is correct. 28 to 9, 30. Okay, so this is wrong, sorry. This should be 39,000. So your total financial aid award could be, this is an example, could be around 38 or 39,000 USD. That is money given to you by Whitworth University based on your merit, your academics, based on your need, and based on your talents. So this is pretty amazing. It's a good chunk of money, okay? So then here's a breakdown of your total costs billed by the university, plus additional costs that are not university billed, but that are a part of your journey to the campus. So as you can see at the top, the tuition is $49,600 per year. We have fees, then your on-campus housing costs, international student health insurance. Those are what the university will bill you each year. For 1 year, it's $66,100. That's a lot. Now, we also have to include costs such as your books, transportation from your home country to the US, your own personal expenses. That totals about $3,800. These won't be every year, but you have to factor in also unexpected costs of things that just occur while you're here, whether it's health issues or certain clothing that you might need for the winter time, whatever that may be. There's always unexpected costs that come up. You lose your computer, whatever, cell phone. So adding up both of these billable costs and the non-billable costs comes to about $69,900 USD, but you subtract your aid and scholarships, even though, bear with me, it's not added up as correctly as we wanted it to be. Remember, there was an error, but you get the general idea. Reducing by 38,000 of your grants and scholarships, now your total cost becomes only about 30,000 USD, down from 69. That's 50%, that's half. Sometimes you might have more aid, sometimes you might have less aid. It depends on your scholarship, right? And it depends on your financial aid, which varies per person and per household. So your new cost per year is around 30,000 USD. Not bad considering where we started, close to 70,000, which is a lot, yes, but 30,000 USD per year for university study in the USA, that's about an average cost. That's really not bad at all. That's considerable to a state university or any kind of non-private university in the US. Remember, private universities do tend to have a little higher tuition, but we also do offer more generous financial aid. Okay, so hopefully that's clear. That's usually the hardest part, is to figure out your actual cost. So you can walk away with knowing that your costs are going to be around the $30,000 mark, maybe a little more, maybe a little less. Okay, here are some things you need to know about receiving and keeping your financial aid and scholarships. So of course, you have to attend Whitworth in order for that money to come to you, and you have to remain a full-time student. You also have to remain a full-time student in order to keep your visa and your immigration documentation valid. So always, always, always remain at 12 credits or more. This is the most important thing to remember at any university you go to in the USA. Stay a full-time student. Second, of course, you have to maintain a 2.0 GPA or higher in order to keep your scholarships. Now, we know all of you are super smart, and that's why you're looking at Whitworth, because Whitworth has higher expectations of their students. We have a more rigorous curriculum. So yes, we love your top achieving students. Maintaining a minimum of 2.0 should be super easy for you, but also remember, it's also going to be challenging because studying in the US, it's a different style of study, different education system, different classroom style, different homework style. So you also have to remember that you need to come prepared to work hard and adapt to changes that need to be made inside and outside of the classroom. This is also challenging. So we know, especially, that your first semester might be a little more difficult than semesters that come after your first, when you're adjusting to your new lifestyle. There is a renewal form that you will fill out every year that will help to renew your financial aid and scholarships. We'll send you this form. You don't have to go looking for it. It's just something that you have to do to renew those scholarships for every new academic year. Okay, let's talk business now. There's some important things to remember. We know that this is the moment of difficult conversations. You've been admitted, or you're close to being admitted, and the exciting but difficult time has come for you to decide on what university is the best fit for you. Facing the realistic idea of, can I afford this? Can my family fit this university into their budget? I'm sure all of you have had the conversation with your family about what can be afforded. Studying in the US is an investment. It's a worthwhile investment, but you have to choose the university that's the best fit for your study and for your finances. So you have to have the realistic conversation that might be very difficult. Is it a good fit? Can I afford this for 4 years? It's really easy to think about it in 1 year terms, because that's what we require for you to show that you have funds to support you for the first year. We don't require you to show that you have funds available for 4 years. Requirement is only the first year. But you have to remember that you have to attend for 4 years. So if your total amount is 30,000 USD, can you multiply that by 4, which would be 120,000 USD for your bachelor degree? Is it feasible? Can your family do it? Those are the things you have to think about. The proof of funds to obtain your immigration document. This requirement is what I was just talking about. In order to get your Form I-20, you have to show that you have 30,000 USD minimum. So even if you show a little more, I would say 35,000, maybe 40,000 is a good amount to show that you have enough funds to attend for the first year of living and studying. This is a requirement by all universities in the US. It's a federal government requirement in order for you to receive that Form I-20, which is your first step to receiving your F1 student visa. So in order to allow you into the country, our government wants to make sure that you have enough money to come and live and study comfortably in the US. So that will be around $30,000, which is what we determined would be a student's average cost, right? Make sense? Okay, that's an important part. We also will require you to fill out a certificate of financial responsibility. Basically, this just helps connect the funds that you show in the banking documentation. For example, maybe your father's name is on the bank document. Maybe the name is different than your name. We want a certificate of financial responsibility to be filled out by whoever is sponsoring you. For example, your family, your father, your uncle, your grandfather, whatever the case may be. This document will help us understand better your financial documentation. You'll receive all of this information in an email when the time comes for you to fill the forms. You don't need to do this until you've committed to Whitworth, you have accepted the offer of admission, and you have submitted your $1,000 deposit that shows us you're committed and ready to come to Whitworth. After those steps, then we can talk about your Form I-20 and your banking documents, okay? So that's the timeline. Once you've decided Whitworth is for you, you'll accept the offer of admission, you'll be prompted to submit your deposit, and then we'll talk about the Form I-20 and those steps. All right, other opportunities for you to earn money on campus. There are so many. We do have on-campus jobs. Yes, yes, yes. Even for international students. There are so many jobs available on campus. I can almost guarantee that you will find one. We don't guarantee it, but I know from seeing students that yes, there's opportunities for you. So it's nice to be able to have a little bit of an on-campus job while you're going to class. We really like you, your first year, your first semester, as a new student, we like you to not worry about getting a job. We want you to adjust to your new surroundings, focus on classes, focus on making friends, and not worrying so much about getting a job your first semester. You have 4 years to be concerned about your job. But I also know from experience that students are really eager to start helping out with their costs. So yes, I do get that. You're able to work on campus up to 20 hours per week. During the breaks or summer, if you have an on-campus job, you're allowed to work up to 40 hours, which is what we consider full-time per week, 40 hours per week, yes. So this is nice because you can make extra money. But remember, you're only allowed to work 20 hours per week, which is considered part-time. Average students will work 10, 12 hours a week, okay? Because you have to study and you have a lot of classes, so you really want to make sure that you balance that. All right, and then also you can do student government or student life. So those are also hireable on-campus jobs that are also really fulfilling and fun because you're engaged with the student body, you're creating activities and events, and you're getting paid for it, which is also fun. In your third year, you could become a cultural diversity advocate. We call these CDAs. Basically, these are mentors. So these are not first or second year students, they're third and fourth year students who are hired to welcome new students and to keep these new students engaged, help them with their questions, help them adjust to campus life. Being a CDA is one of the most fulfilling things you can do. It's amazing. These are very special students. It's competitive, so you have to interview and apply to become a CDA, but let me tell you, it's the best. So look forward to learning more about that when you're on campus. Also, first year students are not eligible for this, but as your second and third year student, you can become a resident assistant or an RA. Basically, those are the students that are in your dorm, on your dorm floor, that kind of manage all of the dorm room floor, so the residence hall assistant. You're kind of like the manager. And that's also a fun thing to do. And international students are totally eligible for that too. You get free room and board if you become an RA. Again, you can do that in your second year and beyond. So lots of opportunities for extra money while you're studying. You also have the opportunity to do internships. In fact, most programs require internships. So yes, you're going to get an internship, which is what? Hands-on experience with what you're studying. So whether you're on campus helping out with a research project, or you're off campus doing an internship at a national bank or a marketing startup company, you're getting experience. And these opportunities are often paid as well. This is considered curricular practical training, or CPT. So we do have to manage your internships with regard to your immigration. It's very important that we, Marie and Trina, always know about what kind of internship opportunity you're pursuing. So be sure you check in with us before any of these opportunities become a reality. Let us know what you're doing, what you're looking for, when you've received notification that you've earned the job. We help you get started. So internships are another great way to earn money and experience. We also have an office, a full office devoted to career and internship opportunities. So you get lots of support in finding an internship. How do you do the paperwork? What next steps do you have to think about? All of that. You have support. You don't have to guess and figure your own way out. We're here to help you. Okay, so I told you at the beginning that this was going to be a lot of information. And I feel like it is. So hopefully I'm speaking slow enough and making it understandable for you. As I said, all of these opportunities to earn money are real. Once you calculate and decide that Whitworth is doable and your family has the finances and the budget and everything's cool and you can't wait to attend, then your next step would be figuring out the financial aid, subtracting your costs. Contact us if you have questions. And if you decide, yes, I love Whitworth, in your student portal, there should be a prompt that says, reply to your offer of admission. You click that, and that prompts you to then submit your deposit of $1,000. The deadline for this is May 1st. So we're only in February. You have lots of time. You don't have to decide right now. You've got time to think about it. You don't have to wait until May to deposit. You can deposit anytime you're ready, but that's the deadline. That tells us that you're committed and that we should be looking forward to expecting you at orientation. The $1,000 deposit is not a separate payment. This is as if it's your first payment toward tuition. So it goes right toward the tuition. And it also secures your place on campus and in class. It's an exciting step. So the next steps after you deposit, we'll just do this really briefly because we will have more webinar information about these steps. And we talked about this a little bit early on. So once you deposit, then we talk about getting your proof of financial support. So any kind of bank documentation that shows the 30,000 USD or more. We like the bank documents to be 6 months worth. So we like to see a history in terms of, let's say the savings account was opened in 2020. That would be perfect because that shows a 3-year history on that account. We can't accept documents that are recently opened, like a new bank account with funds. That doesn't work as well. The consulate will be very picky about this. So we need to see proof of financials, your certificate of financial responsibility, which is that form I told you about earlier. Then we send you your acceptance letter and your Form I-20. With that Form I-20, then you go on to the consulate website and schedule your visa appointment for the F1 student visa. After you do that, then you come back to your student portal and you start thinking about looking at what residence hall you want to live in, which is really fun. There's all kinds of videos and photos that will help you pick your top 3 residence hall choices. And then you will most likely in mid-summer, June, maybe in June or July, you will meet on Zoom face-to-face with your academic advisor. Typically, this is your lead professor. They meet you on Zoom, talk about your goals, talk about your program of study, and they will help you choose your classes. So before you even arrive, before you even get on the airplane, you will have everything complete. You'll have registered for classes, you'll have figured out your dorm room, you'll probably have maybe even connected with your roommate. All of that happens before you come. So you'll feel already really connected and comfortable about arriving. It's exciting. Fast forward. Let's say you've committed, you've gone through all those steps. Fall semester starts early September. We want you here for orientation at the very end of August. We will be telling you the dates, so don't stress. Just give you an idea. By the last weekend in August, you will be in the USA in Spokane if you decide to attend Whitworth. Classes start September 6th, I think. So payments need to be arranged by mid-August. You'll have the opportunity to make a payment plan, maybe even submit a first payment if you want to. We use a handy website called flywire.com. Easy to submit a payment online. It's trackable. You can make big payments, small payments, whatever you want to do. But those payment arrangements need to be made by mid-August before you arrive. And then before each semester finishes, you have to have everything paid in full. So you're not allowed to register for the next semester until you've paid off the current semester. So your payment plans will be arranged as such that you will have everything paid off by the end of the semester. Don't worry, we're going to send you a pre-billing workbook that lays out everything, all of the dates, all of the timelines, all of the how-tos, everything for you to take the guesswork out. And of course, we're always here to help you. We know this is a stressful point in time and it can be confusing, so we'll make sure that you understand step by step. Oh my goodness, we're done. Can't believe it. That's a lot of information, huh? Any questions? If you have questions, pop them in the Q&A box. I'll hang out here for a little while. Anything you want to go back and cover in greater detail? I know it was a heavy dose of info. And as I said, this will be the first of a number of webinars that are similar in topic. So we try to schedule these every week, every other week at different times, so students can jump on when it's a comfortable time in your home country, and we go over the same information so there's no guesswork. Anything else that you want to talk about? I really, really appreciate you being here. I see some familiar faces. Makes me happy to see you're out there. I would give you a shout out, but I don't want to embarrass you. Oh, yay, here's a question, okay. Okay, good question. How do I know that I've already received my financial aid related to my CSS profile? Gosh, that's a good question. I know this stage gets confusing. So hopefully you received your scholarship information. That always comes at the beginning of, once you've been admitted, you'll get an email saying, congratulations, you've been admitted. Then shortly after, maybe 2 or 3 days after, you'll get an email that says, oh my gosh, you got Mind and Heart $28,000 scholarship, congratulations. Then that triggers the assessment of your CSS profile. So within about another week, maybe 2 weeks, the school will assess your economic need. After about 2 weeks, you'll receive another update that says your financial aid offer is ready for you to review. And it sends a link You click on the link and it opens up your full financial aid offer that will show you scholarships and your need-based grants. If you're not sure if you've received that or not, send whoever is your advisor, Marie or me, send us a quick email and say, hey, I don't know if I've got my financial aid offer. Can you help me? We can look also, we can check and even send you a copy. But if you're following your student portal and your email updates, you should get information in your email about that step. So if you haven't received any information yet, it's probably still processing, but you're welcome to check with us anytime. I hope that answered your question. And another question is, let's see. Okay. Question about having trouble logging in. So why don't you please send me an email? Send me an email directly. You see my email here, tallen@Whitworth. Send me an email letting me know that you're having trouble logging in. And I'll help you with that. Sometimes when you have trouble logging in, you actually have to make a phone call to our help desk, which I know is difficult because you're in a different time zone, but you have to figure out when is a good time to call to get a live person to help you with that. And they can help really quickly. It's easier just to talk about it, you know, face to face on the phone, and they can help you. So even like within, let's say, in 2 hours, depending on the time it will be in your country, if you still can make a call in 2 or 3 hours time, they'll be on campus and able to support you. So send me an email and we'll get that worked out in the next 2 or 3 hours, okay? It's important that you can log in. What else? Any other questions? Good questions so far. I love it. Okay, I won't keep you. Thank you for hanging out with me. Thank you for staying on the call this long and for enduring the mass amounts of information I shared with you. You know how to get a hold of us. We're here. We're happy to answer your questions. Don't forget to join a second virtual visit webinar so that you can earn that $1,000 scholarship. Just go to the website, type in virtual visits, virtual webinars, look for the international student webinars, and join up for a second one to earn your scholarship. Look for our emails here. Send us any questions you have. We're around. We hope to see you on campus. And thanks for hanging out. See you next time. Bye.